Hey guys, what is going on? T-Bird here, coming at you with a new video, and I'm really excited to talk about today's topic, which is how to get double-digit kills consistently in Fortnite. I know there's a lot of players out there who have never gotten 10 kills, and I also know there's a lot of players out there that have gotten it a few times, but can't seem to do it on a regular basis. So, if you watch this video, I believe it's going to help your game out tremendously and get you those double-digit kills. The first tip I have for you guys is you guys want to land hot. And if you guys don't know what that means you want to land where you know there's going to be people. One of the best spots to land if you're looking for a high kill game is Tilted Towers. Everybody knows that. That is where at least anywhere from 10 to 30 plus players could be, and it's chaotic. It really is, but if you play your cards right, you can end up getting a lot of kills really fast, which really sets up the rest of your game and really makes your kill count as high as possible. But I know there are a lot of players that get intimidated by Tilted Towers because of all the chaos and the amount of players that go there. So don't worry, if you don't want to land at Tilted Towers but you still want to get high kill games, I'm letting you guys know that it's very possible, and this is how you do it. One of the best strategies for me is to land at the closest named location on the map from the battle bus. So for this game, Snobby Shores was the first drop out of the bus, and normally there's not a lot of people at Snobby Shores. Sometimes you don't have anybody come to Snobby Shores, but when it's the first place on the map, you're looking at usually at least 3 to 6, maybe 8 players that are going to be there with you. And in such a small spot like Snobby Shores, it really opens the door to get those kills. The second tip I have for you guys is you want to make every part of the game count. And what I mean by that is you want to make that beginning game, certainly, like I said, you want to land hot, but you also want to get that mid game. You want to get kills in that mid game, and that's something a lot of players I find don't do. A lot of times people start to slow down because of their exciting start. They don't want to mess up the game, they don't want to die, so they start to just farm, loot up, and try to survive till that end game. But if you're trying to get those high kills, I suggest to you guys you really need to keep the aggression going all the way till the end of the game, because it is a 3-part game. Mid game is just as important as the beginning and just as important as the end. So some of the best spots to find players in that mid game section is Tilted Towers. It's always a hot spot for players, literally until it's in the storm. So if it's not in the storm, feel free to run around Tilted, run through it, and try to find some players. There's always going to be at least 1 to 2 different squads around Tilted. Another spot, which I think is the most populated area in the mid game, is that Salty Springs area. For some reason, there's always players rotating around it. And Dusty Divot and Retail Row. All those spots, you're almost guaranteed to find players. What they have in common is it's that central map area. So you have people from the outer map and inner map meeting, and that's where a lot of those fights go down in the game, so you're certainly going to want to be a part of them. Another tip is gravitate towards gunfire. Now, I know a lot of players that when they hear gunfights, they literally run the other direction. And if you're that type of player, you're going to have to change that habit, because you're just not going to get a lot of kills with that mentality. You need to have that killer mentality, and you have to have that desire to get involved with other people's fights. Even if you want to just watch it go down and then kill the team that wins when they're weak, it still is better than running away, because when other teams hear gunfights too, they also get attracted to it. So you're going to be finding a lot of players if you're running towards gunfights. The thing I prefer to do, I don't prefer to just watch. I definitely prefer to just take shots in the middle of it and try to pick off the weak ones, because it's an easy way to get more kills added to your kill count, because someone already did most of the work. And it might sound cheap, but unfortunately that is a big tactic in the game that will be used against you, so you might as well use it yourself if you want to get a lot of kills. Another thing that's worth hearing is push every knock you get. So when you're in those mid-range fights, shooting ARs or sniping, and you get a knock, you're going to want to push immediately, because chances are they're going to res him and it's going to lower your kills. So if you want to get that kill, it's always a good time to push when you knock. I know there's a lot of players that just feel comfortable, trading AR shots, trading sniper shots, but if you're going to want to get a lot of kills, you're going to have to be comfortable with pushing, especially when you get the knock. So the reason why it's always a good idea to push when you knock is because, one, the teammate's going to be trying to res them, and you're literally going to be shooting someone that has no defense at all because they're not prepared. Or two, it's going to be a 2v1. So you're outnumbering them, and it's almost going to guarantee in another kill on top of the knock you already have, which is inevitably going to add to your kill count. The last big thing I want to mention is close out strong. Again, this is similar to the other two parts of the game I discussed, but the most frequent thing I see is people really slow down at that end game because they just want to win. They want to win at that point. They feel if they're too aggressive, they're just going to lose. They feel like they're just going to get bombarded. And it's true, it is a chaotic time because the circle gets so small, and there's sometimes a lot of players in that small circle. But that's the reason why you have to be somewhat aggressive, because there are a lot of players in such a small vicinity, and those kills are out there for the taking. So you have to capitalize on that if you want to add up your kills. At the end of the game, play the way you've been playing the whole entire game. Don't change it just because you're getting antsy because it's almost the end of the game. It's almost time to win. Play the same way. Play with the same amount of aggression, because honestly, a lot of the players at the end of the game are just worried about surviving. They're worried about being in there 1-by-1, and in my opinion, those are the easiest kids to target, because when I see kids just chilling in a 1-by-1, I know that they're not that aggressive, and I know they're kind of passive. So if I start ramp rushing them, they're probably not going to be prepared for the build battle. They're not going to be prepared for the close encounter, and that really opens it up to make it that 1v1 fight and eliminates, getting shot by other teams. So I really hope these tips helped you guys today. Good luck with getting your 10+ kill games, and that's all from me today. I'm out.